Welcome back. Alien Abduction Day. Who knew it was a thing? Well, today is a big day for UFO fans. It's, again, Alien Abduction Day, and no place has a better claim to UFOs and aliens than New Mexico. It's where we are a global destination, apparently, for fans of the extraterrestrial. Well, we are joined this morning by our good friend, historian Rafi Andonian, to give us a glimpse into UNM's and the New Mexico's rich history into everything aliens. Rafi, it's always great when you're with us because you bring us something we never even thought about, and you've looked into it for us.
Who knew alien abduction had a history?
Yeah, apparently so. When was America's first alien abduction?
1639, almost 400 years ago in Massachusetts Bay Colony. John Winthrop, the governor, leader of the colony at the time, so we're coming from leadership, but he talks about three others who were in a rowboat going up a river. This is in the Puritan colony, and they see a big flash of light, and that light kind of changes its shape into a shape of a pig, and that light, that pig that's in flames, runs along with them on as if to kind of follow them on the boat for a couple of hours, according to the account that Winthrop is conveying from these men. Now, these three men on the rowboat eventually find themselves upstream by about a mile from where they were, and they have no recollection of how they got there.
They were drinking on the boat, or
well, that's what's funny you say that, because Winthrop actually in his diary says that this is coming from a discreet and sober fellow.
Oh, okay. He had to justify it, and as long as he clarified it. Okay,
justified it that way, and he said other credible persons also saw it. So there is this sort of notion of, I don't know if people are going to believe this, so kind of giving cross-witness testimony, which we still do today, if you think about it, when we talk about UFOs and alien abduction.
I'll be darned. And as early as the 1630s, so, I mean, you wouldn't, what we think of in terms of aliens today, we think of, like, you know, the flying saucers, the technology. Yeah. Technology like that wasn't even thought of something flying in those days. So I guess, I mean.
Absolutely. I guess it was a running pig in that case, right? Now, they wouldn't classify it as what we say alien, but the experience is very similar to what alien abduction people have experienced, which is some kind of connection to the extraterrestrial, right? And so that experience is similar. They also kind of believe that there is maybe a connection to the devil. And what you just saw there was John Winthrop himself, the person who conveyed it. Of course, some scenes from around New Mexico is what you're seeing here with the big alien history that we have here in more modern times.
Yeah. And fast forward about 300 years, getting to the 1940s when
that's right.
Roswell became a destination.
Right, so now it changes. So what's interesting is, like anything else, and what makes it historical to me is the change over time. So the understandings of it changed. Now, you had what you had in the colonial period, but now it's a different world, right? It's post-World War II in the 40s and 50s, like you say. So initially, there's this kind of UFO sightings that say, maybe it's secret weapons from another country. But then we have sort of this evolution of the story in recent decades that then adds the other life beings that are there, right, the aliens, and then there's this notion of getting abducted, and that abduction, of course, kind of changes also. At first, it was this thing of, you know, being representatives of planet Earth to then now being more degrading. So that even the understanding of the experiences changes, and we classify that historically underneath folklore, because if you look at folklore larger, like looking beyond just the aliens, there is this often this connection that's similar to experiencing death, which is seeing a big light, seeing a dark, and then having this experience that you don't even know how you came here. And I think that's part of the reason that it still continues, because it's in the narrative of folklore that has gone on for centuries. And of course, how can you not, with this sort of visual, not be drawn to this sort of story?
Yeah, if you see this coming at you, I mean, are you going to turn it away?
This is the kind of thing that can capture our imagination, right? It's colorful. It has, you know, these visually vivid images, which is what really helps stories go. And of course, the history of putting it into this folklore notion of connecting with the other world. There's a lot of folklore and a lot of history that helps us connect to the underworld, the other world, to our origins, the birth world. There's all these notions of stories, and I would put alien abduction stories within that context.
Complete with polarized lenses, too. These aliens knew what they were doing.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's fascinating, like you say, over time, from first sightings, if you will, from the 1630s to the 1940s and so on and so forth. And I guess they've refined their ships from pig-shaped ships to...
they did. And one thing that's different about today, too, though, David, is that, you know, proliferation of media.
Okay.
Right? Having print, TV, social media, of course, more recently, that media helps you proliferate the stories a lot more than, say, in 1639. So more people step forward with stories. Now, whether they're inspired by the stories they're seeing or they're simply being encouraged to report because of the stories we don't know. But the media that we have and the connectivity that we have certainly helps proliferate, unlike the colonial era.
Never a dull moment with Rafi here on the set. Rafi, buddy, it's always great to have you with us, and thank you for this wonderful information.
Thank you.
Yeah. For a full recap of the entire interview, including a look again at Rafi donned in full alien garb there, we will have it on our website. That's always on krqe.com.